Make them listen.
What's up, guys? Shane from Dad's Little Warriors, Dad Talk, and we're on season 2, man. And we got Adam here today. Adam and I have been talking for a little while now, and this one hits home, man. This one might be a little rough for me, and I'm sure for him. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Adam's son had the same condition that Lucy has, so. I just want to welcome Adam in, man, and like seriously, I've told you before off camera and everything like that how much I appreciate you being here, and yeah, man, yep. So with Adam, tell me a little bit, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about your family and stuff like that. I know you got four, and then you had Sammy and everything like that too, man. So give me a little bit about it.
So, a little bit about me, man. Obviously, we talked before, and you've heard my music and stuff. So, that's kind of a drive for me. I started a lot writing songs at a young age and just kind of really put it to use and actually trying to expand my career and stuff, using it to tell Sammy's story and, push awareness to things, like me and you've discussed before you get that diagnosis of HIE or even cerebral palsy and stuff, you never really know what it is.
You don't, man. You never like it's just kind of one of those things you're thrown into, and it's like such an unknown. Like that's the hardest part about that diagnosis.
It is, and it's not an easy thing to understand, even when the doctor telling you, oh yeah, well, it consists of this. It doesn't break it down to you. There's no way to break it down to you until you start fighting that journey. And
Yeah.
a little bit about the family. So have 5 kids. Elijah's the oldest. He turned 7 yesterday.
This shit, that's awesome, man. Almost happy birthday.
Then Leland is next. He'll be 6 in June. And got Ember. She will be. So you got to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Put you on the
She'll be
spot, man.
5.
That's
Yeah,
what happens. Well,
she'll
when
be
you got
5
so many, y'all are busy.
Yeah, she'll be 5 in November. So we don't share a real birthday, but we share a birthday in a sense. So I was in the Marine Corps. So she was actually born on the Marine Corps' birthday. So
Hey,
a
shit,
little
man. That's
special for
awesome.
me there.
Yeah.
Um, and then Silas and Sammy, they'll be 2 this year. Even though Sammy's in heaven, but in July 10th, they'll be 2. So every pregnancy was all 4 pregnancies were high risk.
Okay.
Obviously with the twins it was even more.
Yeah.
And then those doctor's appointments pretty much every week. She was going down to Columbia.
Okay.
And
You're in South Carolina, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So she was going there to one of the bigger hospitals, had specialists that she saw at least once a month and stuff, extra ultrasounds and all that. And then it wasn't nothing especially crazy up
Yeah.
until the week of. So day before, so July 9th, she started having a little bit of pain and stuff. And then July 10th, she started having contractions. She already had an OB appointment scheduled. So she
Yeah.
went, had an ultrasound and everything done, left and, was gone from the OB and back home. And in less than an hour, her placenta abrupted. So essentially,
Yeah.
placenta detached from the uterine wall and led to Sammy's HIE event. So the twins were in separate placentas. They weren't in the same sac. So Sammy really took all the brunt of the damage and stuff. Got her to the ER and everything. I was grateful to only be 5 minutes away at work.
Sure.
But I came home and we got her ambulance, got her to the hospital and stuff, and got there. It went probably 10 minutes before they started rushing her back and everything. And, from time back that they can honestly tell us it was, 14 plus minutes that Sammy had no pulse or
Yeah.
oxygen.
Mhm.
And that's essentially your HIE event.
Yeah.
and then he was rushed after all that, emergency C-section and everything else.
Yep.
He was rushed from there to the NICU, which is up in Columbia.
Okay, it was
Uh,
separate. They had to be transported. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they'd be transported to a bigger hospital. Silas stayed in the like special care nursery that they have here local
Okay.
to it, and
Did they have any issues with Silas or anything like that?
he's pretty good for the most part. They
Yeah.
kept him really for right at 2 weeks, just precautionary because
Yeah.
what they were early.
Yep.
Um, and Sammy stayed in the NICU for a good little while. Um, then,
Fuck, man. That had to be tough having, two different kids, same age, same time, and like one's one place, one's the other. And I'm sure there was some pretty heavy recovery time with the wife and everything like that too, man.
yeah,
That's tough.
yeah, it was. It was probably 3 days before she finally fought her way out of the hospital to be able to go
Yeah.
see Sammy because when they transported him, it was like they brought him
Yep.
in the we'll call it an incubator. I can't ever remember
Yeah.
what the real name
Yep. I
is.
got you. I got you.
Brought him in there and couldn't even touch him or anything and
Yeah.
transport him straight, because they don't allow any kind of germs or anything. Once he's out, he's going
Right.
straight there because he
Yep.
can't enter NICU again. So um,
Was he medevaced or was it ground transport?
it was ground.
Yeah.
There was thunderstorms, so they
Okay.
called for I guess life flight, but they couldn't get
Yeah.
approved because of weather. So they EMS took him from Toomey and Sumter to Columbia.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was probably one of the scariest, you know, in the moment, it was definitely one of the scariest moments of my life.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And that's what's that's what's fucking tough, dude. Because like I feel you, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine the two. We had, obviously you had your other kids and stuff like that at home. We had our, she was like 18 months, Lulu was our other daughter. We had her at home, man, and like it just so the shit just went haywire. You know what I mean? And like you don't know what to think, what you're doing. There's so much more that I want to say, that I wish I could. But like just, that initial shock of like, dude, you have no clue right, what's wrong, what to do, and like you want to be there for your wife, but she's going through that and there's nothing you can do for her. You want to be there for, your kid. There's nothing you can do for them, and in your case, luckily with ours, like the NICU, and that's why we delivered at the hospital that we delivered at. Um, was because we knew they had a NICU just in case anything went wrong. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We were fortunate that that was the close, not the first hospital closest to us, but one that, we used with our other daughter and everything.
yeah,
Um, but just the time that I had in between of when they kicked me out of the operating room where she had the, her C-section and stuff to the time that I knew anything. You know what I mean? Like I was just totally mind fucked. Like I didn't know if I was coming or going or what was right and what was wrong, dude. It was probably one of my darkest moments I've had, in my life. It was shitty.
yeah. It's always the unknown. The
Yeah,
unknown is always the scariest, and didn't really know anything. It was probably 45 minutes before they really came out and said anything, and
sure,
they had spent right at 15 minutes doing life saving maneuvers
sure.
before they you know Sammy regained his pulse
Yep.
and blood flow. So
Yeah. Well, what was his biggest issue as far as like in the NICU and everything like that? Do you remember like what
so we had some seizures and stuff. Weight gain was a big thing.
yeah,
You know, honestly, it kind of pretty much told us, it is what it is. There's nothing
yeah,
we can do medically to help.
sure.
You just kind of just what you're stuck with, and
Yep.
that's not maybe not the best way that anybody should ever look at it, but I guess it was their way.
Yeah.
Um, but from the moment we got home, we were grateful and blessed to have a really good doctor who was also diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know his full backstory and how I got it
Yeah.
and everything else, but
That's awesome.
um, he was Sammy's rehabilitation doctor, and he helped a lot because he understood the struggles and stuff like that.
Sure. How long were you guys in the NICU for? with him?
Uh, 43 days.
Shoot, wait, man, we were in there for 27. It felt like fucking a lifetime, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. 43 days. And then, uh, 2 weeks with Silas, but going back and forth between each one and,
Yeah,
just trying to be there for both of them and, everything else going on and the other,
yeah,
three that were at the house.
yep.
It was,
Did you have a lot of support, like family support and stuff like that, trying to help you guys?
yeah, you know, um, we did. We did have a pretty good village, man. We were really blessed to have some good friends and stuff and family that, you know, they may not be there all the time, but when
Yeah,
you need them, they're there.
yep. And that's the people you want, man. That's the people you need. You know what I mean? Like as you get older and stuff like that, like friends kind of drift off a little bit. They got their lives or doing shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when you need somebody, and we had the same thing, man. It definitely takes a village, getting through something like that. Like people just don't understand the amount, the toll it takes on you.
Yeah,
Like even, prior to, Sammy passing and stuff like that, that shit takes you years off of your life. It's like that's the
that's
easiest way for me to explain it. And then, that's why I just did I have so much respect for you of just coming on here and wanting to talk and, kind of tell your story a little bit and everything like that. Just because it's tough, man, going through that and then losing a kid, man. That's something that no parent should ever have to do.
yeah. I've told many people I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, man.
Yeah.
Person I hate the most in the world, I wouldn't wish it on them because
Yep.
it's something you really never heal from. Not even
No,
and it's still fresh for us. And
it is, man.
it's some days are good, some days are bad.
Yeah.
Uh, it
I
just
mean, other than so I know you're really big into your music and everything like that. Like, did that really kind of probably took off for you and was your out?
yeah,
When
it's a big out for me.
yeah,
For a lot. I mean, it was a really big out. Um, you know, from the beginning, but more so, as we were trying to advocate and everything else, and
yeah,
especially now, telling a story and let others know because like we were talking about before, nobody really knows what HI is. I
no,
mean, people have a clue to cerebral palsy and stuff
yeah,
like that, or like even CVI. I
yep.
mean, you could ask 100 people and maybe one knows knows
Yeah,
any
we
of the
didn't
true
know.
diagnosis.
Luckily, one time, my wife, she's real big on social media and stuff. She has a big following with her photography stuff and everything like that. And she posted, obviously, we've been posting about Lucy because, we want to bring awareness, that we're just advocating for the same exact thing you were just talking about. And, I guess Sam posted a video of Lucy a couple months ago and somebody was like, she has CVI. And I'm like, what the fuck CVI? You know what I mean? Like, I have no clue what the hell it is. And Sam's like, we're both digging, man, just straight Googling, like, what's CVI? What's it come from? What is it? What does it entail? What does it look like? And we probably booked her ophthalmology appointment back in like December, and we literally just went last week, and then
Yeah,
they were like asking us the questions and all that stuff of what she does, what she doesn't do. And they were like, you guys were spot on. Like she has CVI. Exactly what I asked you and the answers you guys gave us determines that without me even having to examine her. But, obviously they did the examination and stuff. But when they first, I didn't even know. I thought it was HEI or something like that while we were in the NICU because I'm like, so what's her diagnosis? Like, our daughter's on her deathbed. You're not expecting her to live past day four. Like, what does she have, or what is the main issue? I knew her liver and kidneys were failing, and then they started to bring those numbers up and everything like that. Then she came off of cooling, went, warmed back up, did her MRI, showed all the brain damage and stuff like that in her MRI. And they're just like, I'm like, what's her diagnosis? Like what is it? And then they said it was, the HIE and everything. And I'm like, what's that? And they're just like, oh, it's lack of oxygen and blood flow to the brain. And I'm like, so what does that mean? Like,
yeah,
they're like, well, it can mean a lot of different things and all that stuff, but that's all we can really tell you now. And then she got diagnosed with CP, and then she got diagnosed with CVI, and all that stuff. And it was funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny to us, because we were there and we had a regular normal pediatrics appointment this week. At the it was I guess it was Monday, yeah. And he's like, going through everything, and he was like, "Well, you guys just got diagnosed with CBI. Like, how do you feel?" And we're like, "We're good." Like we kind of knew it was coming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We had an idea. And like he's like, you guys, take everything. So I'm like, what are you gonna do? At this point, like, are you gonna be shocked? Like, literally, we talk when my wife and I both get to go to the appointments and stuff. We talk on the way home. Like she's in the
Yeah.
back, whatever, doing her thing. She doesn't sleep much, so usually she doesn't even sleep, when she's back there. And we're like almost got home and she's like, I'm like, so how you feel about the day? Like I didn't even ask you. And she's like, yeah, okay. Like I don't even know what to say. And we were both like, yeah, we kind of knew what was going on. We knew what was coming. It is
Yeah.
it is. So yeah, it's tough, man, when there's not, much awareness or anything like that. Like when you sent me that track, dude, of that new song, I'm like, bro, I need that song. Like, I know you want to wait to release it and everything like that for the birthdays and everything like that. I'm like, I'm working on, like, I just haven't got time. And you know how it is with four kids. And, I
Oh,
can't say that because we've got two and all that stuff. But, like, I really want to make my new intro something pretty wild for season two with the dads. I just haven't got a chance to. And I was kind of at that point. I'm like, I just got to jump in and do it. Like, if I don't start getting dads on here, I'm never going to.
yeah.
But man, I need that song for my intro.
Well, we'll have to see what we can do, man. I can definitely get you it before it's even released. You know.
I appreciate that. Even if we can do like a teaser thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you give me a little cut of it or whatever. I mean, I literally only need like, I don't know, 15 seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but man, when you sent me that, I was just like, holy shit, this is real. Like this is my life, and that's your life and everything like that. Um, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I kind of hesitated on reaching out to you, because I don't know. I didn't know how to come about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in my eyes of like what we went through with Lucy, and I can never put myself in your shoes particularly. But if it did work out the way the doctors were saying with Lucy, like I know there probably wouldn't be a day that goes by that I wouldn't think about her anyway. So it might actually make me at ease a little bit talking about her versus, just like keeping it to myself. I don't know. You can tell
Yeah.
me any different, but that's kind of how I feel going through something similar, not the same, but similar.
Yeah. And, same thing with music, man. You know, I'm thankful to be on the podcast at all and be able to tell Sammy's story. It's not ours to keep to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's to help raise awareness. So me and you talked a lot on the phone and
Yeah.
talked about things could have been done differently.
Sure.
You know, some things could have been prevented, and
And that's been like, and I don't know if I've really even said that, like, that's been my biggest issue. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
been what's hurt me the most and what's made me see red and what's made my life so dark is that I feel like things could have been different, and it's not fair, it's not right. You know what I mean? That I think a lot of people think that like either I'm in denial or like I just trying to accept Lucy's condition, and that's not even the case, man. I kind of accepted. What are you gonna do?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
when it's given to you and you see it in black and white, literally the MRI. That's the white matter and all that stuff. Like you see it. Um, it's not the fact that she has a condition. It's not the fact that I shut down my shop. It's not the fact that our life's changed. It's how it did. That's what's hurt me, and really changed my life.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like I told you, our lives changed,
Yeah.
split second, and now it's something completely different. But
Sure. And that's what I was just getting, as you're saying that, I'm thinking, and I'm just like, man, going through like the initial of finding out, and then, because what'd you say? He was 18 months,
17 months when he passed.
17 months? Fuck, dude. Goddamn. Mm, I feel for you, man. I really do. That's rough. But, you're still here, man. You know what I mean? And that's what matters. You're here and you're trying to do something, and that's what I kind of gotta bring myself back to down to reality sometimes. It's like I can't change the past. The past is what it is. All I can do is try to help in the future. And that's why I started this thing. That's why I'm doing it. Yeah, because I mean, I know we talked and everything like that, but um now I guess I hate taking the fucking title, man, because I hate it. But I'm a stay-at-home dad. You know,
Yeah,
it's to go from having my own diesel shop for 9 years of busting my ass to build a business, and that's why it's so crazy, man. We're so similar. You know what I mean? Like you said, you had your metal shop and everything like that. And just like people don't realize how much it changes. Like I don't think the same. Like I don't comprehend the same. I don't evaluate things the same. I don't, work the same. It's just nothing's the fucking same. Nothing.
not not and people really don't realize what goes into the therapies. I was still working. Like I said again, thankfully, right, not far down the road, but wife stayed at home, and the therapies and doctor's appointments, specialist visits. It's something at least 5 days a week.
Amen.
You're going somewhere, and you know, it's
What's tough, man, and
painless.
I said something about it, I think on the last podcast because I've done a bunch. We've got big in the community. We have a close friend, Odell, Sydney, and Walker. Their son has a rare form of dwarfism, and like they're a tight community, man. So I've pulled a bunch of guys from there that are super happy about the Dad's Little Warrior stuff and everything like that. And I kind of mentioned something on there about like it's. I feel like our situation is different because like our kids look kind of normal. You know what I mean? Like they don't have the visible, dwarfism or Down syndrome or, something like that to where like everybody thinks they're just this, little baby. This just everything's good or something small or whatever. It's like no, this is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like our world can change in seconds. Not minutes, not days. It's not a common cold flu thing that can, just put them in bed for a couple days. It's like that's a big deal and like they look so normal that like nobody sees it, man. And it's tough. Some days that's tough because we get a lot of like, oh, Lucy looks so good. Looks like she's doing good. Yeah, she looks great because she was supposed to be great. She's supposed to
Yeah,
be normal. And then shit just kind of hit the fan.
yeah. That was a big thing with Sammy too. Is he was a pretty good bit smaller than Silas.
Yeah.
Silas was a little chunky monkey, but
Yeah. Our
you
girls are
know,
small too, man. Both of them. Both of them are pretty small.
but Sammy had a lot of hyperextension and stuff, dystonia, so he arched a lot.
Okay,
Um,
same exact
so
thing,
it was
Lucy.
a lot more visible than most people would assume. But looking at him, I mean, you could tell in a sense, but it wasn't like you just looked at
Bam.
him and
Right.
saw him, right there, like you were talking about. But you knew if you were around him, you knew within a few minutes, especially if he didn't like you, he would definitely tell
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
He definitely let you know.
Yeah. No doubt. And that's like, with Lucy, she just turned 9 months. So she's really starting to do a lot more of the arching. You know what I mean? She's doing a lot more of the arching and extension and stuff like that. But we do, PT, OT, and like everything else, speech. Now she's getting ready to get set up for School of the Blind stuff for CVI, for therapy and all that. And man, it's just it's so much, but what are you going to do, man? You really don't have a choice. It is what it is. Mm. Cool,
It's
man.
just
Well,
one of those things you keep
yeah,
pushing through.
that's it, man. That's all you can do. Just kind of keep on running. I mean, it's guys like you that and like I said, before, I don't want to sound anything wrong or anything like that, but we still have our time with her. You know what I mean? I fucking feel for you, man. Like I knew I was going to get on here and I was going to be like, fuck, man, I don't know. Like, I know I'm going to say something. You know what I mean? Like, I know yeah, it's a rough one, man. What else are you into, man? I try to steer. Sometimes we get into some soppy shit and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I don't want to just focus on that because that shit's tough on anybody.
Yeah.
Uh, what else you do down there, man? What else you into other than
And do a lot of fishing.
nice? Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of fishing.
What
So
what do you guys you do ponds down there? You do
pretty much everything.
I love it.
Rivers, lakes, ponds,
Yeah, nice
a
man.
little bit of everything. My
What
Leland, the 5-year-old, man, he's ready to go get in the ocean.
yeah.
That's his next big thing. He wants to go out on a boat.
That's cool, man. You gonna book like a charter set up
Yeah,
or
that's
yeah.
that's what he wants to do. He's all the time about it, man.
How
I
far are
made
you guys from the beaches and stuff like that?
we are about an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah, it's not bad.
Depending on where you're going,
Sure.
in 2 hours you can pretty much be anywhere on the coast of South
Okay.
Carolina.
Yep.
So we're not too bad, but you know, he really got me into it a lot more. Fish all my life growing up, and then he was a big push into, hey man, we got to go all the time.
Yeah.
That's the only way it is. He's not happy unless you're going fishing. And started making our own baits and stuff, man. So do a lot
Cool.
of
That's
soft
awesome.
plastics and stuff like that.
Yeah. Does he work with you on that stuff or
Oh
do
yeah, man. He
yeah.
loves it. If he could be outside all day, every day, he would love it.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. It's funny, like when we started talking, you said, you had your shop and stuff like that and everything. It's crazy how much time that takes away, man. And
Yeah.
that's part of the thing with it. You want to provide for your family and try to, do the best you can and make as much money as you can. But man, it don't matter how much money you make if you're not spending time with your family, then
Yeah.
what are you doing it for,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if your situation was because of what happened and just the mindset, you know what I mean, wasn't there, or was it just like, fuck it, I need to just like regroup and refocus on my family and life and stuff like that.
A little bit of everything. A little bit of
Yeah,
everything.
I feel you, man.
Um, like I said before, I'm blessed to work 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
I've been with them for a while. I had worked there before I left, and started doing my own thing. I had my shop on the side, and then whenever closed that down, I went back and
yep,
took another position. But um, I like it. Love the people. It's a great group of guys.
nice. How long were you there before?
Right at 3 years, and
Okay,
I've been back about three,
yeah.
probably two-ish. Probably for about a year, 6 years total.
Do you miss
But
you miss having your own shop?
yeah, yeah, in ways, man. But it's less stress, Well, some days it's less stress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not on all on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's not all
Yeah.
on my shoulders. Uh, I'm a supervisor, so still a lot of responsibility, but nothing like having your own business, man.
It's
It's
different than working it and running it and
Oh yeah.
booking it. Like
Oh, yeah.
that shit sucks, man. Some days I miss I miss working on trucks and stuff like that, but I don't miss that, man, because like I'm a quality over quantity kind of guy.
Yeah.
When I have my business and everything. So like that's what killed me, was that like I just couldn't hire the high school kid, coming out of
Oh
VOTech and
yeah.
shit. We call it VOTech around here, school tech and everything. I wanted people that like knew like, hey man, you're working on $100,000 truck. You know what I mean? Like you
Oh,
need
yeah.
to work on it. And even if that $5,000 truck comes in, you need to work on it like that $100,000 truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a tough thing to find these days,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah, it is. It is, for so long they pushed you got to have a college education, you got to go do this, this, this,
Yeah,
this. Now you have nobody filling those, the blue collar jobs.
exactly. Yeah. Or, and I'm sure you get it. I mean, obviously, with metalwork and stuff like that, when it comes to like CNC machines and all that stuff, not everybody has one of those in their back pocket, but
Nope.
I get those dudes, that come in that, try to learn how we try to do things the best. And then it's like, see you later. I learned all I need to learn. Now I'm going to go do it for a quarter of the price, because I'm kind of just doing it for fun, go pick up a, decent paying job and then do this shit on the side
Yep.
instead of doing it, 20 hours a day for, between working for me and then doing it on the side. So
Yeah,
I
that's
get,
how it is a lot in, steel fabrication. We have
yeah,
guys all the time start off as welding and stuff, and they're
yep,
like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go do this on the side," and they
yeah.
get another job and start welding and making different stuff, and then
Uh-huh.
no, sooner or later it hits them. Can't do this.
For sure,
Come on,
man.
come right on back.
It ain't as easy as it looks,
Right,
man, when you gotta
right.
deal with all that shit. But I want to jump back into your music, man. So I know, your name's the blue collar believer and
Yep.
all that stuff in the music. So are you pretty religious? And if so, like did that start kind of when everything was going on with Sammy, or were you always kind of religious or
Pretty much always.
yeah,
Grew up in a family full of uh, pretty much church all the time. That's
sure.
what revolved around.
That's the
My
South, man.
dad, yeah, yeah, it is. My dad was a preacher and stuff.
Okay.
So, always big there. Drifted away a lot, over the years. Always found my way back, but when everything happened with Sammy, it definitely pushed me a lot closer,
Sure.
and that was a big drive. I made a promise to myself. I've made a little bit of every kind of music out there,
Yeah,
and there's a lot that I don't release because it's not
sure.
me. It doesn't
Yeah.
support that image, and
Yep.
I would. Um,
I'm not gonna lie, man. When you sent me over that, I wasn't expecting that. After listening to some of your stuff, you know what I mean, that you have
yeah,
out, I was just like, and dude, I'm a little bit of everything. Like, I'm pretty country. I've always been kind of country, dude. But
yeah,
I do, depending on the mood, man. Like, we're going through some of our shit, man. I was throwing on some pretty hard stuff.
yeah.
It depends on, where you're at. But I listen to a little bit of everything. I listen to some rap and stuff like that too. So yeah, I mean, it really just depends on the mood. And so I love that variety, of different stuff, man. You do some good stuff, man. It's and I love that like it's trying to and encourage and educate and all that stuff. You don't get that with typical music that's really out there today.
No, that was a really big thing for me was, staying as an indie artist, being completely independent,
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about, hey, you need to
Say
do this,
this, can
you
you
need
say
to do
that?
that.
It's the
I write
same shit. Yeah.
I write my own songs, from start to finish, beats, producing, mastering,
Nice.
everything, all engineering is I do everything
Yeah.
and I don't have to worry about somebody's like, oh man, that's not how you're gonna do this. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. It might not ever blow up to the level that, I love for it too, but at the
Of
same
course.
time,
Right.
it a lot of times it does reach, people that need to hear it.
Hey, man.
And
Yep. Well, and that's like what I found out with the Dad's Little Warrior stuff and everything. I mean, like you were saying, you're doing, appointments. You're up at the hospital all the time. You're doing this. You're doing that. I'm not scared tell, like, I tell all of our doctors and stuff like that all the time. Like, when I started this back, I guess I got real heavy in it probably in about August or so. Lucy was born in June 15th, and then we spent, pretty much a month, in the NICU, and then just trying to like, dude, we went through some rough shit between, family and, trying to figure out life and all that stuff. Like, we were pretty screwed up for a little while. Um, and then I kind of got my shit together, and I'm like, I told myself I wanted to do this when we were in the NICU just because I had no support. I had friends and stuff like that, which was great. That kind of held me over. They kept me from doing shit I wanted to do. Kept me, out of trouble a little bit by just reaching out. But man, this was just something that I really wanted to do, and I tell the doctors about it, and they've got stuff off of us and love what we're doing, and they're spreading the word and trying to do like runs and stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff I want to do with this, but you know how it is, man. There's
Oh
only so
yeah.
much time in the day, and you got 4 kids, man. Like, I could not imagine trying to keep that roof from blowing off that house.
Oh yeah. It has its days, man. I
I
won't
bet, bro.
I won't say it doesn't, but
Yeah,
I'm blessed to have some great kids. They all have their days. They all have, their upset moments and everything
sure.
else. And you know, honestly, that's been a great thing for me. Even putting the music out and stuff
Yeah,
is that they love it. They're all about it. They love music, and um, I think a lot of there's a couple songs. If you've looked at my page, there's a couple like for Sammy and
mhm,
Sammy's Walking with Jesus that I wrote that
yeah,
were played at a service and stuff, and I think a lot of that has helped them be able to cope in a sense.
yeah. Oh,
They
dude,
have
I mean, I can only imagine, the feelings going through that day. Between, the song and that happening and all that stuff, man. Like, you're a strong fucking dude, man. I'll give it to you. Like, I know, I'm sure you've had your times and your days and when you didn't think you were gonna make it through it and everything like that. But fuck, dude, you can make it through that. You can make it through anything, bro.
yep. Actually, the album I dropped yesterday, I have a song on there that it wasn't wrote for Sammy. It definitely wasn't wrote for a service. It was actually wrote for a lot of my buddies I've lost over the years,
Yeah.
especially record buddies.
Mhm.
And it's called "Gone Too Soon."
Okay.
And it one day I think I was just playing it right after, and my wife was like, "No, you gotta play that. It's got to be played at a service." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, if that's what you want." I was like, "That's not what it was wrote for, and that's not
Right.
it's not the intention behind it, but it fit." You
And when
know,
it fits, it fits, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's awesome. That kind of, with it's, like you said, when it fits, it fits. You just kind of roll with it and everything.
does and that song that I sent you the other day,
Yeah.
and I got a couple more that's gonna be on that album. That hopefully I can finish up and get ready and get sent to a distributor and stuff and have it out July 10th, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing was a banger, dude. God damn. Like, I'm over there feeding the horses and shit, and I'm in the side by side, and I'm like, fucking go on your text message, and I'm like, pull this bitch up, fucking damn it. It's real, man, and like I feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of it's our lives too, in a sense, and everything. Yeah, we've talked about it before off camera and everything when it comes down to that. But like, I just I feel it, man. Like, it's I get it can be tough because it doesn't reach and touch everybody. But I tell you one thing, it touches the fucking people it should. You know, that's where it's at in my book.
yep.
But yeah, man. Like, so what? How are you and the wife, man? Because I know we have our days and stuff like that. That's it's a very tough thing. I try not to get too personal or nothing, in that sense. But I know just me and my wife, man. We have days where we trade off. We try not to be on the same day. You know what I mean? It's like that fucking menstrual cycle bullshit. We try to, if I'm on an off day, man, hopefully I hope that she kind of tries to pick me up and then vice versa. Um,
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's how's that, man?
pretty much the same thing. Just trying, as much as possible. It's been the last 3 months has been even more so. Just
Yeah,
chaotic. There may be 3 or 4 days where one of us is having a good day, but we
yeah,
just try and figure it out as best we can. And we have had a good village to help
mhm.
us, on the hardest days. Somebody we can reach out to, and hey, can you get the kids for just a little bit, or hey, can you come just hang out for a couple of hours?
You guys
Just
get out really at all, or do you kind of just what?
no, not really.
Yeah,
Kids
same.
sports and stuff like that. That's
Yeah,
about it.
you stand on this side of the field, she stands on that side of the field.
Just sometimes we get lucky, we might get a date night or something like that, but it's on the rare occasion. Even without everything else going on, it's just
Sure.
um it's crazy. It's a crazy world, and
Yeah.
you know everything is insane, especially where we're living down at.
Yep.
um so don't go out a lot, but you know getting there,
We're the
it's
same
more.
way, man. It's kind of one of those things. Like we're very particular on, and I'm sure you guys were the same way with Sammy. We're very particular on who we have really, around her. One of our biggest things was, everybody kept on saying like, why don't you put her in daycare? What's the problem? Blah blah. It's like you don't know our kid. Like she screams, and she doesn't nap. Like yeah, we post the laughing, the funny, her smiling, and all that stuff. I'm like, but honestly, we were worried that we already been through enough and we were worried somebody would hurt her because
Yeah,
obviously we won't. We're her parents. Like we've learned to kind of cope with that and understand that. Um, we've been through, enough with just trying to keep her, together. That it's we are very particular on who we have that comes around and watches her and we can't afford to have her getting sick. We ended up pulling our other daughter from daycare. Like I told my wife, even though I'm staying home, there's so much to do with Lucy and she's so much all the time that like I really think that we should keep Lulu in daycare and let her get the kid interaction and learn and do all this stuff. And then that kind of slacked a little bit, so we talked about it, and I'm like, fuck it, we'll just keep her home. And like honestly, our other daughter is probably one of the best things for Lucy.
yeah,
Keeps her entertained and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, man, we're very particular on who we have, one around her, and two, especially who we have watch her, and we make sure we're not going for. It's like let's run to town. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get back.
Walmart trip is a vacation.
Yeah, for sure. And I hate that fucking place.
Who doesn't?
I just I appreciate you coming on, man. I know
Yeah,
it's
man.
gotta be tough. And like seriously, like not even recording shit or whatever. Like I'm here for you, man.
I
If
appreciate
you
it.
ever need to fucking text me or call me, I don't care what fucking time it is. Like I've been through enough fucking shit, and you've been through worse. So, I get it, man. I know, you were in the military. I'm sure you went through some shit in there and everything like that. I have the utmost respect for everybody in the military. And then, to have this situation and stuff like that, man. Like, I sincerely and like authentically fucking feel for you, dude. Like,
Appreciate that.
yeah, it's, being in, like I said, I hate to even say the fucking similar shoes because it's not even the same. The same diagnosis and stuff like that. I guess I should say. Like I know part of the struggle that you guys dealt with, and then to have to go through that. It's just nobody should ever fucking have to do that, man.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't.
So I feel for you, man. And I know like everybody handles things different and all that shit. I consider myself a pretty fucking tough dude.
Yeah.
I never thought, and I've said this before, like I thought of like PTSD and anxiety, depression, shit like that to be military stuff. You know what I mean? Like you go through so much shit that like I always thought I never thought like some just civilian random regular person could do that because I hold the military up above regular people. You know what I mean? Like you guys go through so much shit. Um, I thought that was more of a military thing, and I just never understood it, and I don't think 90% of people out there that haven't been through a fucking real tragic scenario in their life, whether it's at birth or after birth or just in life or whatever, understand that. Because I didn't, I
No,
always it's
most
just like
don't. You
pick
know.
your shit up and fucking move on. Like that's kind of what I was taught. That's how my family was. Um, but you fucking can't, man. You don't. Shit sticks with you.
Yep. If you don't, sometimes you just have to learn to, accept it before you can move on.
Yeah,
Because if you just kick it to the back, it'll come back at
yeah.
some point or another. It's raise its head and be right there, just when you
Yep.
least expect it. So,
Going through
the
our
way you,
fucking worst shit, man. I was just kind of like, same thing I always did my whole life, just fucking keep it in. You know what I mean? And eventually you're just like, I gotta fucking get it out, man. You know what I mean? And like, that's what I really want to do here is like let dudes just. I had a guy, message me off TikTok the other day, or actually I think it was yesterday, and like I look at the dude's profile and like there's nothing there, no profile picture, so I could tell he's like some dude's got TikTok just to like look at videos. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that he's like, my wife told me, I should probably message you and like, I'd really like to tell my story and all that shit. I'm like, come on, bro. Let's fucking do it. Like if that's what you feel like is gonna make you feel better, I'm fucking all in. You
yeah,
know, and that's what it's about. Like I don't care if our videos get fucking 200 views, 2,000 views, 2 million views. I really don't give a shit, man. Because honestly, this shit, like me and you sitting here talking, it makes me feel better. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I hope it does the same for you. Um, but just a simple conversation of talking a little bit about our lives and what's going on and what we've been through a little bit, and kind of how we've dealt with it and everything. I think it fucking means something, man.
it does. It does. That's one of the biggest things is, once you put it out there, it's the world's duty to do what they want with it.
Yeah,
If it's meant to be, if it's somebody's meant to see it, somebody's meant to hear it. Same thing with music.
yeah,
If it's meant to be that way, it'll be that way. And
exactly.
you know, do your duty and spread the word. You build awareness or whatever you do with it, whatever your goal is with it. Once you do it, you know,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much how it is.
It is, man. Well, and I definitely, I fucking mean that, man. When I want to start using your shit for like the intros and stuff like that, when you give me the go ahead or you fucking say it's cool or whatever, I definitely, I think it's something we can kind of put together and everything like that with using some of our, my videos and stuff like that that I make and everything, to catch a little bit more attention and on both ends, man. I think that would be super cool because it definitely holds a special place in my fucking heart.
Yeah, yeah.
But awesome, man. Well, I think we're kind of running up to about another 25 minutes on this one. If there's anything else you want to talk about, man, or any questions you got for me, go ahead.
I'm pretty good, man. Do you have any other questions?
Nah, you're good, man. You feeling good, man?
Yeah.
You good? Like I said before, man, I really, even off camera or whatever, not even worry about recording. I appreciate you being here, man, and wanting to come in and all that stuff. I know I don't know because I'm not there, but I can only imagine it's fucking not easy, man. Every day, um, like you said, it's still fresh. It doesn't matter. I'm sure fucking years down the road, it's still gonna feel fresh, man. So I
Yeah.
feel for you and. That's why I say, 110%. Like you ever just get into a fucking bad spot or need to fucking bullshit or shoot the shit, man, my phone's on. You got my number. You just fucking text me. You know, I might not be able to tell you how to fix it. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty good at fucking listening, bro. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like I like to listen, and sometimes that's why I tell people, like, you know, I might not know what to say, but I'm gonna fucking listen to you, and you're gonna know that I'm listening to you. You know, I think that's half the battle.
That usually is, man. Sometimes it's just needing that ear.
Yep. You don't need the conversation. You don't need the fix. You don't need the answer. You just need somebody to be able to fucking listen to you. And this world's lost a lot of that, man.
Yep.
But cool, man. Well, I'll go ahead and do a little outro thing here and all that stuff. But I do, man. I sincerely fucking appreciate you fucking coming in and hanging out.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Dude, it's my pleasure, honestly. Like I told you in the beginning and everything, you're probably one of the first dads I've actually like one really talked on the phone to. I've messaged a couple dudes talking back and forth and everything, but like I actually talked to on the phone that's actually trying to bring awareness and all that stuff and like putting some work in to try to help out and understand, or let people understand what's going on, Um I wish you nothing but the fucking best, man. And I sincerely want you to know that I'm here for you, man. Like you're not alone. You know what I mean? Um, I'm here. So I want you to know that before I get off of here.
Same here, man. Anything you need, we any resources we can find, we're here as well. And
We're gonna talk about that fucking that track, man. We're gonna talk about that whenever you're comfortable. Like I get it if you want to wait to release anything, don't feel pressured at all, but just know when it does come out or when you're ready to let it go, you fucking let me know because I'm gonna use that bitch on here as soon as
well,
you give me the go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you the go ahead.
Okay, well then
Go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and give you
use
the go
that
ahead.
for the intro for this fucking video.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
Yeah, man.
awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you tuning in. This is Dad's Little Warriors Season 2, Dad Talk. And we got Adam here today, man, and it was awesome. It's kind of really touched me, and me and him are very close to the same as far as some situations, but we're definitely a little bit different. So it takes a big man and a big step to talk about a situation that unfortunately his family has gone through. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and definitely check out all his music on the platforms, the Blue Collar Believer. He just had a new album released, and we're getting ready to use his song on here. So I appreciate you coming in, man. It was great talking to you. I'm glad that we met up on such a bad situation, everything like that. But that's the deal, man. Hopefully we can make something good out of it.
Oh yeah, it was great. Thank you for having me, man.
Make them listen.